Hey Dad. Hey Dad. Today I'm going to be showing you Space Engineers. It's a space simulator game where you sort of get to build whatever you want. Think of it sort of in the terms of Minecraft with blocks and whatnot. But it's not super smooth. Don't expect it to be like a AAA game in terms of how it runs because it's not meant for you to move around fluidly and interact with everything. Um, it's more so building and designing and resource gathering. This is a new map that they just released for um, a new DLC they put out with new parts, including like this reactor, which I think looks a lot nicer than their last one, especially considering this one you can actually sort of walk inside of, and there's like ramps around it. It makes it just look a lot cleaner than the old one, which I can show you what the old one looks like too. It's actually fairly similar to that. Um, Not those green things right there. But as you can see, like someone built all of this. They just decided they had a design in mind and they went with it. Um, Everything sort of loops around too, because like a lot of people's designs are made so that there's not just a single way into one place. See, like right here, you can get back into that area. Which reminds me, that area, I know you could tell, but that was an airlock that we passed through because we went from a air-conditioned, oxygen-filled room to an open space. This is a small mining ship someone made. Um, these have hydrogen thrusters on them. Um, there's two main thrusters in the game, hydrogen thrusters and ion thrusters, which if you look, that's my ship I built over there. The blue thrusters are ion. They're very fuel efficient and they're very strong in space, but in atmosphere they do nothing. Hydrogen thrusters take a lot more to power and a lot more know-how to make it work, as well as it can work in atmosphere and out. But a lot of times people will switch to only ion in space if they have both, just because it's a lot better fuel-wise. We're going to press Y to turn back on the power to this ship. We're going to press P to detach because there's a locking mechanism, like landing gear. And so as you can see, this ship has an ore detector on it. So if we get close, oh, you can actually see some iron right there. It looks like somebody already mined some, but we're gonna mine it too, just so I can show you. Just want to kind of clear the way so that I don't damage this ship in the process. There we go. There we go. Was sort of stuck there for a moment. We're gonna see if I can try and rotate here in a second to grab more of those resources at the top, which actually, uh-oh, I'm a little stuck again. Oh, it's because my landing gear accidentally attached to the stone surface. That's what that was. Yeah, so now I'm collecting a bunch of stone and a bunch of iron, and actually if we pull out here, we should be able to see exactly how much we have. And actually the ship feels a lot heavier now, showing that there is a bunch of... Oh, there we go, 2.7, or... See, that's strange, because it looks like me at 2.7 kilograms, but then it's saying 2,000. You know what? I know how numbers work, don't judge me. That's the weird thing is, I thought for sure... Oh, that's right, the iron will be processed whenever you put it in a refinery. And so for right now, it's all just stone. Um, and you can really feel the weight of the ship change once it has more resources in it that you've acquired. Now, the thing on the back of the ship is actually the connector, and so what we're going to do is we're going to connect. And the ship doesn't have anything on it right now to indicate that it actually can deposit it manually, or I mean automatically. Sorry. Um, just gonna try and line this up as best as I can. There we go. Gonna tilt forward some. There we go. And gonna connect. There we go. Now, whenever you're connected like this, you cannot actually power off the ship because then it will power off the entire facility. Because once you connect these two, they're acting as if they are one giant unit. And so we can go inside, or we can set something on the toolbar of the ship to jettison everything from in here into the cargo of this refinery that's within this asteroid. But yeah, that's a drone somebody made where it just flies around regularly checking on everything. This is a ship made by the developers too, just for this map, and those are really well placed. Oh, that's right, those are those new kind of landing gear. I like those a lot. Or magnetic pad. This, they set up something, they set up a camera so that whenever you walk through here, it opens up this gate. As you can see, it's already open. I'm just going to fly over this thing. That's a vehicle that they made, a rover. And there's the hangar door closing. Yeah, this looks like it's a small expedition vehicle. Like they even made crew quarters in here. Those are 2 beds. And there is a shower and a toilet. And then there's the same thing on the other side as well as lockers. Then you come down here, enter this cockpit, and we're gonna disconnect. And wow, this is a very nimble ship. Wow, yeah, this is an incredibly nimble ship. That's really nice. And what is causing that smoking right there? Do you see that? I'm really curious as to what's causing that. I might dig into this ship later, take it apart, and see if I can improve its design any. Wow, this is an extremely nimble ship. I really like this ship a lot. Anyways, enough of that. I'll show you the one I built here in just a second. We'll land this thing again. It's a landing pad. Wow, yeah, just extremely nimble. Really, really, really like this ship design. A lot. Is there actually a way? Is there a connector on this thing? Is there? There isn't. Okay, so we don't actually need to connect anything. Which a lot of times, right now I'm playing in creative. I actually typically, oh no. Oh no. I prefer to stay in creative. Just because the survival aspects can be pretty challenging. Connect. There we go. But in the actual survival mode of the game, you would have to connect your ships, all of them, with those connectors to refuel them. Next, we're going to go over to my ship. This is the ship I designed. I actually started from scratch with this thing. It's gone through so many iterations and changes and everything else. Like right now, these are all ion thrusters on this side because I wanted it to have some more maneuverability. Oh, and I just realized those hydrogen thrusters aren't working. I'm going to have to take that apart and figure out why those aren't receiving fuel. Oh, and it's only that side. That's weird. Either way, I'll take care of that later. But before these were ion thrusters, it was, they were large airlocks that would open up to an array of broadside cannons. There was 8 on each side. They were pretty devastating, but they're nothing that these turrets can't do better. So I stuck with the turrets. Before that, they were it was a giant medical bay. As soon as you entered, it was a large medical bay that would just had a bunch of medical equipment around, and then on the sides over here were where you could find housing for people. It was supposed to be like a crisis frigate. Right now, I'm not sure what to do with this room, but that was it right now. That's a hyperdrive for jumping long distances. Those are the new kind of reactor too that I like. Down here will actually take us back to the other reactor room, and this leads back to outside. I have lots of cyclical areas just in case you are one place and want to get to another place quickly. You have a few routes to take. That way you're not wasting a obscene amount of time. Yeah, as you can see, these are all the connectors you need for like hydrogen thrusters and air vents to work. Right now I'm leaving a lot of doors open, which I typically don't do, but because I am super adamant about it. This is just a console for anyone in engineering who needs to access it quickly. I do have a main cockpit just so that if somebody else tries to fly the ship from another console, they cannot. But yeah, so this is the enormous reactor room. This took a ton of time to get working properly. Oh, that elevator is not working. Shoot, I'm gonna have to get that working too again. But now we're gonna go back to the residential quarters of the ship. These are emergency cryopods, and these are emergency or extra rooms, I suppose, that are for non-crew members who just need a private place to sleep, whether it's somebody who we found stranded or what have you. There's something missing here too. I don't know. I'll worry about that later. These are all of the residential quarters, kitchens, showers, bathrooms. This is for the crew. They all have their own rooms. Yeah, that is odd. I'm gonna fix that in a bit. But yeah, in fact, I think this room, yeah, this is the like the first mate's room. It's quite a bit larger than the others. But oh, that's right. This is another way in. I typically use this way in just because it's a lot closer to the cockpit or the bridge, I suppose. That's a window. It's not just open. Don't worry. But yeah, so like I made this just so that if anybody needs to get up here quickly, repair something, who knows. I do have a mod for shield generators. This is a connector, and actually I'm really proud of this. I made other ships so that they can connect to either refuel or fuel this or just swap inventories. But a lot of the ships that I've made have parts that extend to connect to this, and then they lower down and power off their thrusters, so that these ships don't damage each other when they're connected. I can show you a little bit of what that looks like later, possibly in another video. But yeah, I like lots of lighting. Is it a little too blue? Yeah. And when you're in atmosphere on a planet, it's a lot more. There's a lot more daylight. That's why I like the windows. But this is my bridge. That's just a hologram of my ship. It's supposed to be sort of like oh, this is the current damage to the ship. But you know, I like shield generators a lot on in this mod pack because it's just nice not having to repair little things here and there every time I get into a confrontation. But yeah, this like most ships in the game, it's quick to accelerate, slow to brake. But that's just because there's more thrusters on the back than there are on the front, and a lot of times I need to get up and go quickly as opposed to stopping quickly. But it's really cool seeing all of the thrusters firing, and it's a little ridiculous too. It's just so much energy being used on that. But yeah, very really enjoy just building whatever ship you want in the game. And people have built all sorts of stuff like the Millennium Falcon and other sci-fi ships from stuff. One of the ones I really liked from a long time ago, someone made the District 9 ship, like the little ship that they used to escape in the end. But yeah, there's also gravity generators on everything. That's why we're able to stand up on and ships have their own specific grids for it. So like if you had this ship upside down next to that asteroid base, if you were in one or the other, you would instantly be flipped, which is kind of funny. But it's the only way they can rationalize you having gravity in a ship without having it spin like crazy. But yeah, and actually before I go, I'm curious as to what's in this little one over here, because I noticed it, but I haven't been inside of it yet. Might be nothing. Might be, oh, it's hand mining. Because we have hand tools we can use for mining too. Yeah, lots of resources in here. Well, that's cool. But yeah, so this is Space Engineers. I want to say it's like $20 or $30 on Steam. It's not super expensive. but it's a really nice way to just spend your time and relax. Not in survival though. Survival is stressful and a nightmare. But anyways, um, yeah, want to give it a try? Just check it out and we'll play together. See you, Dad.